2. We're going. Right, Mucker, we're on. Okay, lad. If you want to start us off, who are you, man?
I'm sound, yeah. I'm all beaten up with my back because I had a very hard week of training. A 3-hour leg session on Friday, I think it was. Don't do that again. Not doing that shit again. But yeah, other than that, absolutely fine. What about you? You alright?
All good, man. All good. Introduce yourself, mate. No one knows who you are.
Oh, I suppose you don't. This is like me getting myself out to the world. So,
Yeah.
I am this prick's best mate. My
Yep.
name's Kieran, and I'm a coach back in England, near Alex's hometown. I've known Alex since about it'll be 12 years now. I've known you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Get rest.
So, what are we talking about today then?
We're gonna go pros and cons of the industry as a whole, and where we think it's gonna go. Where we think it's gonna go, man. Like, obviously, we've got some things under wraps on the cards. The world will see that when it arises, but we've been I don't know, we've been knocking around this sort of industry and training and competing in various different things for a while, and we get to see shit, man. So
I'd say you've been working in it for a few years longer than I have. For me, working in it's only about, I'd say, a year old. Being in it, I think probably we've had 10 years worth of being in it, from first stepping foot in the gym and working out and being first exposed to the various gym environments, like everything from commercial gyms to private gyms, bad gyms, really bad gyms.
yeah.
Fun. But also there are really, really good gyms, and there's some gyms that I need to probably give credit to with how good they've been. Like I still go to Raw Strength near me, which 13, 14. And as well as there's some gyms all over the world I've been to. One that stands out is one in Sydney I went to called Fitness Playground. It was just fantastic the way they just with the way the environment was. It was downstairs. They just had a lot of great equipment, which I think tends to make gyms. But just the attitude of the people there, they're nice and friendly, nice and chill. But at the same time, you could see people were focused and committed to what they were doing. And that I think that is quite different to a lot of people's perceptions of feel like before they step into them. I think a lot of people think they're quite intimidating. Massive roid heads.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know for a fact we've both trained in gyms that are quite intimidating and full of fucking. Yeah, but I love it, man. I think it's brilliant. You know, like
sued by them and then massive by itself. The ones where you get a free needle with every membership.
That's actually
that one, yeah. We definitely won't name the name of that place because just on the off chance that they fly to New Zealand and trace your address.
That's all right. I'll get them. I'll hunt them down. Anyway, you knocked on a good point there, man. But when you said people are not only like dedicated to whatever goal they have, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a sport or whether it's like an aesthetic or whether it's just fucking health and fitness, they're dedicated to the goal. But the main thing of the gym is the fucking community, and everyone's like open-minded.
Yeah, I found where you find the community in the gym, you tend to sort of stick there. So like I mentioned before that the reason why I keep going back to Raw Strength over and over is because the community that's had grown quite substantially, and everyone sort of knows each other. Graft House in Leeds is another one, and I think that won best ball from the North East.
I fucking love that gym.
It was a fucking superb gym, and like I know Tony and Charlene who own it, they've cultivated a really good environment where people they don't have like as many members as say like a fucking like Ultraflex or a pure like a big Ultraflex in America or like a Santa commercial, but the people they do have there they're all nice, which is a fucking bonus, right?
Mm, mm,
They're
mm,
all and they all sort of you see like they're making little sort of communities and little um sort of like microcosm of friendships there, which is it keeps you going then.
mm,
I think a lot of the time people drop out of, especially people that don't, sort of have been sedentary for a while and maybe not necessarily don't know what they're doing.
mm,
A lot of them drop out of gyms because feel as though no other reason for going because they feel quite isolated there. You see
mm,
that all the time in commercial gyms. I
mm,
remember when I worked at Pure, a lot of people who would come there on their own who a lot of times didn't necessarily know what they were doing. They'd they'd go on a treadmill for a bit, then they go on the bike, then they cross trainer, which are all things where you're doing them on your own. You're kind of in your own little world. But it wasn't because they wanted to be on their own. It was because they didn't want to be seen. They didn't want to be like they were kind of intimidated by again being in a gym environment, being sort of out of comfort. At that point, you kind of say, it was my job to try and get them out of the shell and be like, hey, try one of these classes where you can maybe try new things, or have you considered going trying to get girls to go in a weight area was one like getting
still, which it's like that fucking it's balmy for me, man, because like obviously we're like progressed so far in the industry now, and like people understand like the benefits of weight training, and they understand that it's not you don't look at a weight and you're gonna blow up, or you look at a treadmill and you're gonna shrink down. Like you can actually have all of it, you know what I mean, in one. But I find it absolutely balmy that there's still that sort of perception of, ladies look at a weight and they're going to turn into a bloke like us with a deep voice and two testicles.
my favorite thing is to me.
Speak up, lad.
Sorry. One of my favorite things in the gym is when I have female clients come up to me and they say that they want to get more. They always want to get more tone. They always want to get like
Uh,
they always want to get an ass like Kim K, right?
yeah,
Which by the way is something's happened there, right? I don't know what, but something has happened. But it's
just
those
those
usual
booty
things,
bands, mate.
and then you say to them, a lot of them, common one is just getting thinner or getting slimmer, getting more of a beach body kind of thing, right? Those are the typical ones to show. But then when you talk to them about like, well, like okay, you talk about things like squatting, deadlifting, and you sort of talk about lifting weights. Go, no, I don't lift weights, and I'm like, why? She went, well, because I don't want to look like a man, and I'm like, okay, right, how much testosterone is in your body?
Mm,
How big are your balls?
mm.
Because obviously I don't want how big balls because he's 2020 you'll get fucking set with a harassment charge, right? But when you try and outline to them like fucking you won't get like that, okay? The amount of work it takes for a guy to fucking get like that is ridiculously hard, right? So all that happens is, and please women, if any women are listening to this and you don't believe me, I promise you, if you start doing things like squats, overhead press, bench, deadlifts, like like bent over row, just compound exercises and isolation exercise like your standard bicep curl, you will not look like a fucking man. If
Yep.
anything, you'll look more of the feminine physique that you probably aspire to get because you'll actually be engaging with the muscles that you want to look like. There's no such thing as a toned muscle at
No,
all.
no.
You can have bigger muscles, smaller muscles, stronger muscles, weaker muscles. Okay, if you're like the toned look that women say they keep getting, say they want to get, like there are loads of guys that have been training for years that have that physique because they've been training for years and lifting
Mm.
weights. But
They've got a
the
base level of foundation of muscle. They've actually reached a level of body fat where the whole like global level of fat on their system has been reduced. Like another thing is like, oh, I want to lose belly fat. I'm like, all right,
spot
okay.
fat reduction, that's a
Like,
thing,
I'm like,
obviously.
you can't like if you do 1,000 crunches a day, like you're not just gonna like melt the fucking shit off your stomach for Christ's sake. Like, you're just gonna have to be in a deficit fucking train, move, eat a little less, boom, and time.
I feel really sorry for people that, because as we know, like it takes a long time for fat to go down all over the body. Okay, and in some places you'll notice bigger reductions and smaller ones. I think at the gym now they've literally just finished an 8-week challenge, which I think we'll have to get onto the whole 8-week challenge thing later on. But for now, the 8-week challenge that they did, like some people there have lost say 3 inches around the waist and an inch around their arm. Now, if it was gonna be like everywhere you lose fat over like in the same amount, you'd be looking at pretty much the same amount everywhere at every single point of your body. But it
Mm.
doesn't work like that. You lose
No,
fat like people are gonna lose fat
and
in
that's down to
little bits.
genetics.
No, but it is absolutely down to genetics. It's nothing
Mm.
to do down with how many squats you did, how many
Mm.
fucking reverse lunges you did, or how many times you did bear crawls. There's nothing. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say that you're gonna lose fat in one area quick. You're gonna lose it because if you do spot fat reduction, that would mean that you could lose weight in your left leg, lose fat on your left leg, and then lose fat on your right leg. So you'd be walking around with one fucking skinny ass leg, and one leg fucking buffalo, right? So you'd be fucking falling over all day. But no, that's not it. Like that's not how it
Uh,
fucking works.
yeah, that's true, man. That's true. And like, and you know, age plays a factor, genetics plays a factor, gender plays a factor. Like, it's all different places, and I know for a fact with me, like it's basically right at the bottom of my stomach. It will stay there until I'll like, actually be serious, sort of thing. But I'll get nothing on my legs, I'll get nothing on my arms, I'll get nothing on my back. Like it's just all in one place. And other people, it's the other way around, and it might be like it's all on their legs, for example, all on their arms, and that's just kind of like learning you, and we've learned ourselves because we fucking we've trained since we bloody came out our mums. And it's just kind of like developing that training age and going with it, and keeping a log if you need to, if you're a little bit silly like me, and I have a bad memory, so a little bit slow, just
Yeah,
keep a log.
that books I've got in my room, I can at least show you one now. To be fair, I can literally grab it, but there's the amount of times I've logged my workouts and I've like been able to track, and then I've looked
Mm.
back and there's ones I've had since we were like 15, and I look back at when I was training at 15, I've gone, you were training so badly, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why the fuck were you doing bench 4 times a week and squatting once, right? Once then, I had a bench in my. If any kids listen to this, like, if you have the option of getting a bench or a squat rack, for fuck's sake, buy a squat rack, not a bench, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I wish that because basically I had a bench in the garage for years, and so like when I was bored, I just go, oh, okay, time for abs, time for
Mm.
bench, okay, and so I literally just do curls and bench all day, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I should probably do my legs. So then I'd put the bar on my back, but there was no, the weight wasn't, because you're having to lift it over onto your head and
Mm.
stuff. So which is like from being a fucking weightlifter, that if you want to fucking like press a bar over your head, that takes a lot of hard work,
Yeah.
and the muscles are required to overhead press are nowhere near as big as the muscles required to fucking do an ass-to-grass squat. So yeah, anyone listening to this that wants to know what piece of equipment they should fucking buy for their garage, start with a squat rack, right?
Mm.
Your legs will be very 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 grateful for the investment.
At the end of the
But yeah,
day, if you buy a squat rack, you can do OHP on it. You can do
yeah,
overhead press. You can do
and then
floor
you
press.
can buy a bench, and then you can do exactly.
You know what I
Like
mean? Like you can pretty much do. It's so versatile. You can do so much with it. Um, but if you buy a bench, you're kind of
it's
pretty
limited.
pretty stuck. Yeah,
That's
pretty
just, I mean,
stuck.
that just comes like sort of benefit of hindsight, I suppose. And I think benefit of hindsight applies to so much of training and so much of
Mm.
when I discovered reverse hyperextensions, I was like, why the fuck am I not doing this when I was playing rugby when I was 16?
Mm.
Because it'd been so much. I'd have been so my recovery would have been so much better, and I'd have been so much stronger in the middle. And I think as well, like so at the gym now, like I've built a reverse hyperextension,
Mm.
and no one has a fucking clue what it is.
Mm.
No one has a clue what it is, and I think which is such a shame because you and I both know that reverse hyperextension is one of the best pieces of equipment to buy
Yep.
for developing overall strength.
And I also
Lower back.
extremely rate belt squats.
Oh, I absolutely do as well.
Um,
The benefit that has on your posture, strengthening your hips.
yeah, man, and just like help to decompress your low back a wee bit, like especially I don't know, especially for the fucking history of the injuries through my spine, like
Yeah,
um, I like to if anything that can decompress it, I'm all on it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, nah, man.
I think
So, go on.
I think Louis Simmons deserves so much credit for the invention. For those listening who don't know who Louis Simmons is, what for one thing, where the fuck have you been?
Mm,
Secondly, watch West Side versus the World on Netflix. That shit is amazing, and quite inspiring as well. But the guy built the reverse hyper when he broke his back, and he built it out of necessity, and so many people have benefited from that piece of equipment alone, and the training philosophy is quite. But this is probably a con really is the fact that not none they pros and cons. Not many people know who this guy is
mm.
because he's not on Instagram and he's not flashy.
He's not glamorous, is he?
Oh yeah, well he's a fucking what 70, what is he 72 something like that, and he's Columbus, Ohio, and he fucking trains out of a gym that has the windows blacked out, but out of his gym he's got 100 world records, and he knows how and those that do that have come across him, NFL teams, a lot of people from the world of CrossFit, UFC fighter Steve Miocic, who is the champion, like
Mm.
people like that who come across him and use this and train with him or train using his philosophies progress massively. But whereas people who know fuck all but are on Instagram sending a lot of send a lot of shit. Can't remember the guy's name, but he was talking about. I think the guy who owned like I don't like calling it out, but there's a particular letter in the alphabet that may or may not be towards the end, and that's followed by the word shred. And the guy
Hey.
there was very little, or he knows a lot, and he's not showing that he knows a lot because he's out to get a lot of money from people, and he's there trying to tell people that you could lose weight by eating loads and loads of pizza and loads and loads of and drinking loads of coke and stuff, which yeah, if you're eating fuck all else during the day, that's fine, but it's very, very misleading. But because that guy is, in himself, he just naturally gifted, has, in terms of the way he looks, he has naturally low body fat percentage. He's got fairly good abs.
Oh, it's
There's
when
a lot of people. Sorry.
what fucks me off the most, man, is when people I don't give a fuck about steroids, to be honest with you, mate. Like if you decide that you wanna take some drugs to help you do whatever, whether it's performance or aesthetic wise, fine. All right, fine. But it's when they fucking sell a program to an up and coming kid who wants to get better for rugby or netball, or she wants to get better in the pool or whatever, and they're like, oh, you need to do this, do that, and you're going to look like this. And then they completely disregard and say, no, no, I've never taken a steroid in my life, but they know for a fact they have. Then they are the scum of the earth. Because they are literally like manipulating the minds of a fucking kid.
It's like I think the body dysmorphia in men has progressed almost to the point where it's same, if not more, than it is in women now
Yeah,
under the age of 25.
yeah,
Because you look at sort of just go with like the most popular films. Like if you go with like the Marvel films,
yeah.
fucking I don't know, that series of fucking argue. But you look at the people in the actors in that, like a lot of them obviously being superheroes. You got Dave Bautista, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt. Some properly
Chris
top
Evans.
human being. Chris Evans. Fuck me, yeah. The guy you fucking aspire to be like.
I mean,
Yeah, like
he's an attractive
you've got
bloke.
people now that are pretty built. You've also got Hugh Jackman who plays Wolverine. You've got Henry Cavill as Superman. Um, all the time now in popular media, you see more and more jacked guys that are in decent shape who look good. Who look good. Don't get me wrong. Like I mean, I suppose you had that in the 80s with Rocky and Stone and Schwarzenegger and all that. But there wasn't it wasn't as prevalent then as it is now. And as well,
Mm.
because Instagram didn't exist all the way back then, but it does now. Like people more and more feel as though they should look a certain way younger than ever before. And I think women now that it's progressed to the point where it's kind of being discouraged to sort of like fat shame and things like that, which in many ways is great, but in many ways it sort of led to some unhealthy things like that. The severely overweight woman that was on the remember that
Was on the what?
cover at the front cover of Cosmopolitan magazine, mate. She was absolutely huge. Like I'm not going to be disrespectful to how she looked, but she was very, very, very unhealthy in terms of
Yeah, that's the argument though, isn't it, man? Like, because at the end of the day, like people have a free will to do whatever the fuck they want to do, eh? And we're not saying that's a fucking bad thing. However, we're looking at it completely from a health perspective. And it's like that's not like fuck, I can't think of the word. That's not like publicizing health. However, publicizing being okay in your own skin, being like feeling beautiful as you are, having confidence, fine, yeah, all over that. But in terms of health, we're just solely just looking at it as a health point of view. Nah, that's not the way to go. You know what I
no,
mean?
absolutely not. And that's what I was saying before that I think that whilst body dysmorphia in men is a relative, like being as prevalent as in women is a relatively new thing, women it's been going on that long since the 50s,
Fucking
60s,
fifties, man.
however long. That now it's to the point where, especially with wokeness of today, um, it's sort of turned a corner to the point where like it's kind of becoming more and more acceptable to be unhealthy, and I think unhealthy in women has been kind of like you can accept being bigger and stuff like, and there are a lot of women that that like don't that still that are beautiful despite being a certain size, right? And we should never say that have to be this skinny to be
Mm, mm,
but however, to glamorize in this instance what severe obesity, severe unhealthiness, and therefore the things that are associated with that, like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, increased risk of heart disease, joint problem, like massive joint problems in a
mm,
knee, especially in the knees, man. Like
mm,
severely bad lower backs because you can't, and as well, and infertility as well, which is another thing that comes with having a severely high, severely high level of body fat in women. Um, like although there are a lot of fucking people who will probably look like they disagree with the argument. Anyway, to see that's being kind of glamorized is really really damning of the industry, and I don't think that's necessarily the industry's fault. I think that is just the way things have progressed. The
mm,
external force on that.
mm,
But the industry needs to do more to kind of like combat that and actually say, look, we're not saying that you need to look this way. You need to look like fucking like someone like Stephanie Sanders. You need to look this shredded or to be considered good looking. We are saying that you need to take ownership and responsibility of your health, and
mm,
not don't do that. You shouldn't be in a position where people can copy her, or people feel like they should be allowed to copy her, like that woman on and like back to your earlier point, circle of steroid users who were in a position where they're telling kids that they should just do this program to look like them, and they don't actually tell them what they're taking. That's a massive problem.
The thing is, though, man, we can flip that fucking coin on its head, like, and go, okay, well, we've got the ladies and the gent sort of side, on the more towards the obese side. But if we flip the coin on the head and just go, all right, well, is it good that we have men's health, women's health, fucking whatever all the magazines are, and have someone who's at like 3-4% body fat, who's either on roids or not on roids, but is like in peak condition, but is clearly not healthy? Like you could say that's misleading as well. You know what I mean? And that's not good.
Point actually. So I think in many ways that let's take steroids out of the equation for a minute. Okay,
Mm,
just go with like the look. I think it's okay. I think having someone who is bulimic on like they used to be. don't take men's and women's fitness a second. Obviously, that is one thing. But take a lot of the magazines that women have been prone to reading. Having incredibly stick thin models there that get weighed daily, fuck monthly and weekly, daily, right? Just to sit and they take fat burn pills. You know, they're not sleeping and they don't eat, and they have like ribs like a fucking xylophone, right?
Mm.
Like that is equally as damaging as having a plus size model on him. It's encouraging a lifestyle for people that are very vulnerable
Mm.
and who are likely to incur a lot of health problems as a consequence in following whatever sort of regime these people follow to look like that. Which obviously, going back to the men's to the point you made about having someone that's 3, 4, 5% body fat on men's health fitness, I personally don't have an issue with them being on it at all because for me to get in the shape of some of the people, someone like I don't know, like someone like Angela or in the world of you know, like Jay Cutler, it takes a lot of work, right? And there are positives. There are a significant amount of positives way their lifestyle, for instance, diet. I mean, the diets that these people, some you know, more often than not, are exceptionally good. I mean, they're on a holy amount of food. Plastic is there at the time where they need to consume that. The way their attitude and dedication to training. I mean, Dorian Yates' attitude to training was, I mean, the longevity of it, as he's shown now, the fact he doesn't lift weights anymore is damning. But his attitude to training was superb, and I think a lot of people who need a bit of motivation to sort of get into gym in the first place maybe do listen to someone like that. But I also think that they need to talk about the person that's on that cover. There should be a very honest. They should allow themselves to have a very honest piece in that magazine. Say exactly what their lifestyle is, the pros and the cons. So, for instance, Rich Piana used to wake up at 3 in the morning just to have a meal. Hey, the guy was barely fucking sleeping at one. Okay, a lot of people can't sustain that. That guy, that he managed to, because he was a fucking special, awesome human being who did a lot for the world of bodybuilding. But he was just a crazy motherfucker getting training and eating. You know, like we should talk about the fact that a lot of, you know, I mean, I don't know if Eddie Hall or Alpha Beyonce before, we need to talk about the fact that they've got sleep apnea. You know, they probably got sleep apnea.
Yeah, man. I remember watching a video with Eddie, and he showed that he has to wear a mask to keep his airwaves open when he's asleep because basically he's so large and it will just collapse and he'll fucking die. You know what I mean?
But people need to. I think it kind of comes down to
Yo,
people.
no thanks, pal. Oh, thank you.
So
Sorry,
it
mate.
kind of comes back to like, in which case, then, so what I was saying about like if you have full disclosure or like a full piece of like a whole sort of like diet lifestyle regime, pros and cons of the day out. So for instance, like, you know, they might win a world title or they might feel so much a lot of confidence in themselves, but the guy's having to take a certain dosage of Dianabol during the day in order to stay on top. Okay, and then the effects that has on him, like, fucking meltdown baldness, like, you know, doing it, which a lot of people disagree with, but I kind of think that doctors and the NHS report kind of would different. I can't believe that, but again, it's up to people whether or not they believe that. They have the information in front of them, and kids can fucking read. 15-year-old lads can read, you know, all that information, and they might be like, right, they might be more measured in their approach to long-term training and be like, right, well, I'm not gonna look like Jay Cutler inside a year if I eat fucking 40 breaths a day. Still
But that
70, not
that's
taking all the stuff he's taking.
that's it though, man. Like it's just a wee bit of fucking education. That's all it is, and like actually teaching people rather than making them blindly follow and making them completely dependent on you. It's actually going, no, hold on. I'm going to like completely open this book and go, I do X, Y, and Z, and I look like this. Fucking Maria Sharapova does X, Y, and Z, and she's this good at that sport and whatever. And you're just like, oh, okay, like, and you make a little bit more of educated decision. rather than fucking people just going blindly. Like, how many mistakes did you make when you started training? I think I could make a book, and I will never be able to finish it because I've got that many mistakes I can put in.
You're looking at me. You're looking at theories and then spin off your armor and everything about.
Honestly, it's ridiculous, man.
And
And like,
I still make mistakes now. I mean, like I made a mistake in October when I was when I injured my lower back deadlifting and
mm,
powerlifting, deadlift technique apparently. But I at that time I because of the way my life was going, I stupidly mixed my deload week with my heavy week. Don't know how the fuck I managed to do that. I still don't know how I managed to do that. My hamstrings were that fucking exhausted that I ended up damaging my lower back and I lost 50, 60 kilos on the deadlift.
well, that's the thing, man. I think that's a really important point when you said like your life was at a little bit of a topsy turvy sort of place, because like it's usually the case when either your head's not okay or fucking life's all over the place, and you like ignore all warning signs your body's telling you, and you're like, fuck this, I need to do this.
Fuck off many times and I ignored it, and then
Yep.
eventually mine told me to fuck off and I had to listen. I was like, okay, it's not a problem.
Yep.
But yeah, like things are like. I mean, we still make mistakes training and stuff. Everyone will still make mistakes training, include. I mean, like I remember watching Strongest Man in History, and Eddie Hall made a mistake, nearly injured himself when he unevenly loaded the people. He's doing like a hip lift.
Mm.
And Nick Best was telling him, fucking, dude, that's going to fucking hurt your back. And he's like, no, fine, you won't even notice it. He's like, dude, you will notice it. And he pulled it, he noticed it. Okay, everyone, even at the highest level, still makes mistakes, but but admitting that you're probably going to do that and knowing that that's probably going to happen at some point makes you put things in place to mitigate against those sort of mistakes you make aren't ones that cripple you for 6 months. Maybe mean that you have to sit out, or maybe you have to go a bit lighter on one session, that kind of thing. Or maybe you have to finish your workout half hour early rather than doing extras at the end because you a bit easier. That's fine. Like, and to all those I've seen the listeners you've got on this show. It's pretty cool. Like you've all to all those kids and stuff that are being frantic about the way they're training. My advice that is just ask someone for help. Ask someone to help you who knows what they're doing, okay, and that can be honest with you. And if you hear a trainer if you hear a PT saying to you, "Oh, don't worry, dude. Like it's like you need you need to do this, 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 and this," and it sounds really, really complicated. Ignore him because if you're overcomplicating it, it's bullshit. Okay, it's probably bullshit.
They're covering something up.
Sorry.
Like if they're, I've always found this with trainers, with coaches and trainers, right? Most of the time, we're not talking elite level here. We're talking about kids, and even people that are new to training. Most of the time, if they turn around and they make it really, really complicated, they're trying to hide something that they don't fucking understand or know, because they're trying to throw so much information at you that you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, and then you walk off, and they seem like fucking big bollocks who knows his stuff. Well, if I came up to you and you're just like, Mr. Kieran, like, what should I fucking do? And you just turn around and
That takes back to my time in Indonesia. Mr. Kieran, Mr. Your questions have been declined. So anyone listening in Indonesia, that is not a comment on all your people. That is a comment on one Indonesian person.
well, that's what happens when.
And as you don't know them, okay, you can't.
Well, they'll be cousins, won't they?
Spot on impression, okay. But yeah, no, yeah, go on. So finish your point once you finish.
What was it? Oh yeah, and you turn around and go, oh, fuck me. You fucking turn around and go, I want you to squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, do some pull-ups, be able to do a push-up and work your core. I'll be like, oh, is that it? Do I not need to do the fucking fancy incline, single arm, externally rotated, pronated, fucking blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, don't be a dick. Do the basics. Come back to me in 3 years.
The basics still absolutely. I mean, every program I've had that's worked, it's been very basic and in terms of like in the approach. So basically, I obviously as a powerlifter, I look at what are my weaknesses, how do I strengthen those weaknesses. So for instance, I'm really slow off the floor with deadlifts. Okay, once
Mm.
I get it to my knees, that fucker's getting up. Okay, and I'm fine,
Mm.
and that's how. So my approach to getting better at that was deficit deadlifts. Okay, and and out of nowhere, fucking my speed off the ground improved because I was used to pulling from a bigger range of motion. And then when I went back to a conventional deadlift, okay, I just found that quicker. Okay, equally, I know people that I train with who, there's one guy who doesn't have best front delts. Okay, so one of his accessory movements is he does dumbbell presses where he does where he internally rotates his shoulder. I think, yeah, he internally rotates his shoulder. Okay, so he gets right, turns his hand so he gets more internal rotation, and therefore engaging more with his um, front delts, and equally as well to sort of, by the way, out there, and turn too much internal rotation is bad. He also does a lot of rowing to counteract that. Okay, you know, he has really weak front delts. He does stuff specifically to target his front delts. So when he's benching, bench is stronger. Equally, I mean, the bench program that I showed you, I know that you've had problems with your triceps in the past. It's
Mm.
not a tricep, right? It's that fucking simple. You don't need to start thinking, okay, well, I've got to bench it this time and do it this slow and then do it this quick and then I've got to do bands this way and then reverse bands and all that shit. Like
Mm.
which a lot of people do. And then I've got to do bicep curls the same day I squat so the blood gets redirected. Six pack, dude, that was a genuine thing from Six
Yeah,
Pack, right? He
I
tried to
know.
sell a program, and he called he's like, so he was, fuck me, this was hilarious. He was saying that most of the times in the gym, people have what's called single sets and then fucking drop sets, and they have fucking like compound sets. And I'm like, all right, cool. The different what I'm gonna talk about is monster sets. I'm like, all right, cool. So and he's saying that monster sets basically you pair two completely different muscle groups together. Um, like you say you'll do like a deadlift with then like tricep extensions. So you redivert the blood from all the major from muscles used for a deadlift straight into the triceps, and that'll blow you the size of your triceps up while keeping your deadlift strong. And I'm like, what the fuck are you going on about? Now, if anyone finds that video, that wasn't verbatim what he said. That's just the gist of what he was getting at. And
Yeah,
basically,
yeah,
at the end of the video, he put, if you want this program, it costs this much. And I'm like, there we go. There it is. That's
yeah.
what I was fucking waiting for. Like the amount of
Yeah.
fucking bullshit that's being sold through. That's what I was saying before. If you go up to someone and you don't know what you're doing and they're starting to overcomplicate things, they're probably going to try and sell you something because the more they overcomplicate something and the more you feel like your depth, the more you'll feel like you'll need them. Okay, I've said to one of my clients who is a
Top money.
jiu-jitsu player and a footballer. I said to him that I said to him when I started training, I said because he's injured at the moment and he's trying to get back into he's got trying to get back rolling and back playing football. I said, like Lee, my goal with you is to make sure you never need me again, which is a
Yep.
very weird goal. Okay, considering that that's what my business depends on is having constant clients. But if I have him dependent on me forever, I've not done my job correctly. Okay,
I've
like
said I've
that's
said the
like
same thing that every single client I've ever had, I've said exactly the same thing. My goal is to make myself unemployed.
yeah, exactly. But there are so many PTs out there, and dude, this is the kind of words I've been waiting to fucking open.
Hey.
There are PTs I know that have that keep their clients dependent on them by either writing bad programs or by fucking like giving them shit advice. But
The thing is,
constantly
though,
feed
man,
the idea that they need them because they're not there yet. Do you know what I mean?
not there yet. Fucking that. Oh, nah, that's a pet peeve for me, man. Because like
Fucking
that makes people never proud of where they are. So if I went, oh, like Key, you're doing really well with your powerlifting, but you're not there yet. You would be on a complete downer.
Yeah, exactly.
just from that little fucking that little
At the
sentence.
time,
And
when I pulled my back, basically, like I was in that mindset where I was like, I'm not there. Like I realized, like I'm not there yet, so I need to. Even though my hamstrings are fucked today, I need to do this set of deadlifts. But I
mm,
would never. But it was ironic. 'Cause I would never say that to a client. I'd say, no, we need to take a step back. We need to
mhm,
make sure we need another week
mhm,
just to recover. We need to see how you're feeling next time. It's fine. It's a long process. We don't say. But at the time, my head was the other people in my category right now are deadlifting this. I need to catch them up so even. Okay, so
yeah,
when I'm on that fucking so when on that podium day, when it comes to fucking a deadlift, I'm trying to blow every fucker away that's on that platform with me.
yeah,
Next thing you know, I've lost 60 kilos off my deadlift because I had that mindset. And if PTs are giving people this mindset, that's when you start to see people develop habits that we know are unhealthy. So a kid who's not big enough, you're not there yet. He starts frantically eating fucking shitloads of Mackies and Burger King and KFC, getting all the fucking calories in, right? Next
and he
thing you
gets
know, he's slower, he's tired, he's got his salt sugar right up and down, or the counterbalance of the counter argument being, the flip side being a girl who's trying to get thinner for a wedding. Okay,
yeah.
that's a
Here we
common one.
go. Here
I've
we
been
go.
and they're not there yet. Shit, I'm gonna look ugly on my wedding day. Okay, I want to look fat on my wedding day. I'm not gonna fit into my dress. My fiance is gonna dump me at the altar. Fucking which fuck me, man. Like that'd be an awful thing. So they're starting to think I need to stop eating. So they stop eating. The next thing you know, especially with women, the body goes into starvation mode because you don't want to use your genic. And then they start to save fat, but they start to store more fat than they think. Then the weaker during the day, they're tired all the time. They're arsey with people. By the way, I'm not saying girls, you're arsey with your guys because you're tired. I'm just saying that a common effect of having like if there's any girls fucking writing a hashtag right now trying to say on this started to say that I was had PMT because I didn't eat enough, right? I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. Chill the fuck out.
Oh,
Uh,
I've just realised I've not had a lady on the podcast yet. I need to get one on.
oh my word, how misogynistic are you? Are you saying women
But
can't be on podcasts?
oh, here we go. Here
That
we
is
go.
so out of order.
I'm gonna go outside and there's gonna be a whole line of them waiting with pitchforks and a fucking burning torch and no,
That
I don't know.
naked. Carry on.
I don't know many female trainers.
Um, I know a few. I remember like of the female trainers I know that are actually good trainers that I've seen in person. Francis, who we used to work with at Pure, was a very very good PT. They're like just she because one of the good things about her and one of the good traits in PTs is admitting when you don't know something and
Yes.
not just agreeing with things. So so for instance I was talking to her one day about just about like why squatting on a Smith machine is a bad idea. And
Mm.
she was genuinely listening. But equally, man, by the way, this girl was a boxer and she knew how to fucking, like she knew how to box. And I would never say to her, "Oh, you don't know you fucking you don't know how to punch," because she fucking definitely did. But the things that she wasn't good at, she would like happily listen to about, and she would never profess to knowing something she doesn't. Whereas there were so many PTs I've seen, one guy in particular who
Guys, but it's a fucking ego thing, though, isn't it? And toxic masculinity, and then we can't admit that we don't understand or don't
Well,
know.
dude, I said to a girl last week who, I mean, this is when I messaged you about it. She's transpired that, like, I knew the diagnose, I knew the symptoms for shin splints. I didn't know the ways to deal with it. I thought I had a bit of an idea, but I wasn't sure. So, like, look, I'm not gonna tell you how to manage this because I don't know. I said I need to ask some people that do know,
Mm,
and then get back to you. And that's exactly what I did. I messaged you and
mm,
knew about it, and then
mm,
I've helped her out now with it. I've prescribed the things to do.
mm,
Um, for example, for those that are listening, just so you know, not just making this up. Like I gave her band resisted calf flexion. Okay, so
mm,
that she would mobilize her Achilles and the calf. Okay, and relieve a lot of the tension and tightness that's present in those areas. She's now, amongst other things as well, that she was prescribed to do, and she no longer has those pains when she's in the gym doing the certain exercise that brought it on. But the things, if I had said to her, "Oh yeah, I know how to do that," and I didn't, and I lied, and I made something up, she's probably still be in a lot of pain now. And I've failed at my job. Okay, I've done a fucking, because I've fucked someone over at to sort of preserve my ego, and I see that all the fucking time, man. And I do think that's a massive problem with our industry. I would say that good PT is now in the minority because it's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
easy to be PT. All you need in level, but for those listening outside of the UK, if you're in the UK, all you need to do is have your level 3 diploma. Now I'm not now for that to get that certification, or like obviously it's different to CrossFit. You need your CrossFit level 1.
Mm.
You
Don't get
need
me
to be
started with the level one.
sorry, oh mate, I, I,
Don't get me
I'm
started.
aware of the issues with level 1. But
Don't.
all you need for this is in some days you can get that done in a weekend, okay, or to go on like a few week course, which in reality are very cheap, okay, because they like some cost like £1,000, maybe £2,000, but you can pay that off in very small installments and it's interest free, okay, and that is such a low entry barrier for something where you're being asked to change someone's life, okay.
Yeah, man. And we're literally given the best compliment anyone could ever give another human being. Someone walks through the doors and trusts you with their health.
Exactly. And trust you with their goals and aspirations, and therefore their mental health and how well they
Yeah.
get accomplished. I mean,
Fucking.
the reason why I still go to Raw and the reason why I still have the same coaches, even though I am myself a coach, is because one, they keep me accountable, but two, I know they're right, and I know because I've
Yep.
had them before, and I know they got my best interest at heart. Even because when I had no money, they will give me programming free, and they will let me train there for free. Okay,
Mm.
and I'm talking, I genuinely now of it. And then afterwards, when I got money, I think fucking Ants a fucking Wales fan, so I bought him a Wales top, which really made me cringe. And
Yeah.
for Sarah something Powell, she's Powell too. But back to saying before, like I'm not saying that if you only have a level 3 diploma, you're a shit PT. Of course I'm
No.
not. Okay, I'm just okay because I know people that only have a level 3 and they're fantastic because they read up all the time and they do the things that you now talk about, like knowing, like admitting when you don't know something, asking for help from other PTs, sharing your ideas with people for free, and trying to have people's best interests at heart, which quite frankly is fundamental to whether or not you're a good PT, is whether or not you have your client's interest at heart more than your own. Okay, you're
And
able to get
it's difficult though, isn't it, man? Because like that's something I feel so strongly about, man. Like you have to be last in this thing.
yeah,
However, However, that's a really, really fucked up concept because a lot of the time,
yeah,
you as a person, not just you as a trainer, you as a coach, you as a fucking role model or whatever you want to be called, you as a person gets royally fucked up from it and you end up burning out.
yeah. The amount of hours that you actually have to do in this game is ridiculous, and for a lot of the time you get a lower money. You don't earn as much money as you think. I mean, the average PT salary in this country is 1,000,
How much?
but it's about 21,000.
I wasn't on that when I was in the UK.
You probably on. I'm not going to
Less
guess
than
you.
that, boy.
I'm not going
Less
to
than
guess you.
that, boy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it's still in reality not that high for what we're being asked to do. But again, it comes back to the issue of the low entry barriers because there are so many PTs now in the industry. Like you said, I mean, I did economics at uni prior to doing a master's in MSc. Um, because you got such a high supply, and such a high quantity, the wages and the demanded price of the PTs ask for is reduced.
Mm.
Okay, and what devalues us further are those bad PTs because they create an image of good PTs as being bad. Okay,
Mm.
and we have to do so much to convince them otherwise. Okay, so like for instance, I remember distinctly when I was working. I remember one day, one of the PTs I saw him teaching a guy who was clearly, and I don't mean any disrespect to this guy in particular, clearly brand new to the gym. Okay, you could
Mm.
just tell he was pretty aimless when he was walking, didn't know what to do. He was doing a couple of machines wrong. Like just like and he was quite an overweight man, right? Fair enough. But fair fucks, he was in the gym trying to make a difference, okay, and
Yeah.
that's important. He asked this particular PT how to squat, okay. Now, considering the size of the guy and just the wear this guy must have on his knees, I would have immediately conducted a little bit of a mobility screening just to assess his squat capabilities. Okay, things like knee to ball, testing his hip mobility, like adduction, abduction, etc. Just to see if this guy can perform just a body weight squat. This PT put him straight on a Smith machine, which I fucking lost my mind. Right? For those who don't know what a Smith machine is, Smith machine it's unlike a regular barbell where a regular barbell you can move it in and out of the rack. A Smith machine barbell is fixed to two vertical poles and it moves up and down. Okay, which means that whatever movement you're doing on that particular apparatus, that you're locked into a range of motion. Okay.
Yeah.
Now with a squat, you do not want to be locked into a range of motion because when we squat, even though we want the bar path to be pretty much straight, okay,
Mm.
there is a little bit of a backward movement, okay, in the to allow your hips to come backwards. Um, sorry, that was a retarded way. The backward move to allow your hips to come backwards. Fuck me. No, your hips come down, and your bum goes backwards, and there's a slight reverse movement with the bar. Okay, it's not 100% perfectly straight like a Smith or like on a Smith machine. Okay, the reason we teach that is to promote like having good posture and to keep the driving force upward constant and in a straight line. Okay, so we maximize efficiency in the lift itself. With a Smith machine, because we're locked into range of motion, what it causes is get my hand rather than your spine coming back in a normal way, and then deviate, then coming out and following the line of the hips coming backwards. What happens instead is because he's locked into range of motion, the bottom of the spine ends up slightly curving inwards like this. Okay, that's
It's
really
a
really fucking bad because it's
it's a
not naturally.
podcast. They can't see you.
Oh, can you? Face down. I don't know if they can fucking see. Right. For those who don't know who we'll just put the description, cunt. Right. Fucking. I thought they could, because I can see you. I'm thinking, oh shit, man, these people are gonna be fucking. Oh, fuck off. Right.
No, it's because
I can
I'm
see.
beautiful. You wanted to see me.
Is your low? Is your low fucking? Right. I can get naked then. Fuck it. If no one's seeing this. I'm sat in a 40-degree room, fucking with a tuxedo
Hey,
on.
I was.
For those that can't see me, I'm really good looking. Okay, you need to be aware of that shit. Right. I'm really good looking. I'm 6'7". I don't know if you can tell from my
Black.
voice, but I'm ethnic. I'm not going to say which ethnicity. Also, a particular group can't get pissed off at me saying he's marginalising us. Fuck off, right?
Look,
Anyway, fucking the spine ends up curving in as the moment in an unnatural position. Okay, which obviously is very compromising for your lower vertebrae and the surrounding discs. A way to combat that pain on a Smith is to move your knees further forward. So you're doing pretty much like a wall sit. But what that does with the weight as well is often, if you load the weight up enough, it causes internal rotation of your hip. So you end up getting a lot of pelvic damage, a lot of hip damage, and you get like massive glute tears if you load that fucker up too much. Okay, this PT did not know that shit, okay? And he's fucking telling this poor lad to jump on this Smith. So I said to the guy, "Do me a favor, mate. Don't leave the gym without talking to me first." And he was like, "Okay." And I just said to him, like, "Mate, I mean it in the politest way. Please disregard what that lad said to you because if you listen to him and follow his advice, you're probably going to get injured." I said, "This is how you should approach squatting. Okay, first of all, we need to see whether or not you have the capabilities to do a normal body weight squat. If you can do that, great. Okay, over time we'll increase the reps, then we'll increase the weight using kettlebells and start doing cues like slowing down the downward movement, pausing at the bottom, and accelerating upwards. Vary the tempo. If you can't do a bodyweight squat, we have a regression for that as well. Often squatting to a high box and sitting down and then coming back up. Over time, we can then start to look at putting barbells on your back, and then eventually, but with lower weights, and eventually loading up the weights so you can squat normally. Okay, it's a long road, if for a lot of people. Okay, and PT selling the idea that road's shorter is so glamorous. someone that thinks they're at the bottom of the thinks they're much further away from their goal that they are. The idea of being close, of someone telling you that you're closer to that goal, is really really dangerous. Because especially because if they're obviously not like this chap that have mentioned
Makes
on
them
the
rush, man.
sorry.
It makes them rush it. It makes them think, okay, well, this is for a season, not a reason, sort of thing. I'm going to I'll be 5% body fat with 12 packs and an extra testicle in 3 months. And it's just like, well, no, that's not the fucking case. Like I've been lifting weights.
By the way, what would you do with an extra testicle?
Um, I think I'd keep it as a spare, or maybe if she's a good one, I'd load them all up just to give her an extra treat.
Do you know what I do? I'd like dress them up in like little like tuxedos, little pants,
Oh,
and
it'd
I
be
would
like
get home. And like
like a
I
puppet
don't
show.
think because most people don't have three testicles. If you do, by the way, please know I am marginalising you. You are a freak. Um, because most people don't have three balls, like no one would know what that show was, and it'd only be at the end where the curtain comes down, i.e., being your monster cock, and then they'd be like, "Oh shit, that was balls all along," and then they'd be baffled and wouldn't sleep.
You, you wouldn't know what to do with it though, man. It'd get in the way. Like I sit on my nuts on a good day. If I had three of them, I'd be fucked.
Oh my days, one of it. Well, things are the good thing though is if one of them pops, you've still got two more, which is the normal amount. Again, if you've got three, you're a freak.
It's true, yeah. You can be a little bit more, risky with your nuts. You can swing them around a little bit more.
So because back to the topic of conversation that people have like chewed in for because yeah, like if you've just joined us at the Bollock conversation, rewind. Like if because a lot of these PTs sell the idea of having a short amount of time to get to their goal. Trying to say to someone that it's going to take a little bit longer and being frank with them isn't is quite it's really damaging to like some PT success. I mean, I remember seeing this girl who had she basically had like a bit of cartilage removed after after a car accident, and
Tasty.
she'd never had good physio. But you just so like she physio that she had in particular wasn't very good. But that particular thing that she had wrong, I knew how to deal with it. It was just gonna take a quite a long time of regular training and rehab. Okay, obviously, like you know that if you've got cartilage removed in your knee and you've had a severe accident like that, it's gonna take you a while. But this girl was not happy with that shit. Because I
Mm,
mean, I think I said to her, so the price I gave to her that amount of months, she was then like, well, that's like 6% of my yearly salary, whatever the fuck it was. Like, average number like that. And I was like, yeah, but you'll be able to walk properly and train properly, and
mm,
like that's. But she's like, another PT that the friend says that it won't take that long, and I'm like, I was like, how long did they say? He said 2 months, and I went, fucking lying to you, right? 2 months to get back to full health after your cartilage removed after a car accident, like in your knee,
mm,
like that was just clearly bullshit. But
mm,
because what one PT who was clearly fucking lying to her had said, it then lost me a potential client because she just didn't believe me. As
mm,
far as I know, she's still not recovered.
mm.
Okay,
Like
so
I used to like, obviously when I used to treat people back home with a bit of sports therapy, and it used to be 30 quid for half hour or 50 quid an hour, right? And I used to pretty much be booked up, and it was sweet as. But there were some clients that come in and be like, well, Jimmy Bob down the road can do it for 20 quid an hour, and I'm like, all right, mate, if you think my prices are a little bit too expensive, that's absolutely fine. I'm sure we can come to some arrangement. However, if you think you want to go to Jimmy Bob because he's gonna charge you less than half, and he's going to give you the same level of service than myself, then good luck, and I'll see you in about 2 weeks when you're still hurt.
like exactly, and as we all know, Jimmy Bob definitely fucks his cousin. There, there is that. Like Jimmy Bob's there in family reunion, going hello, right? No, but I don't understand completely what you're saying, and that's what we'll go back to before. The fact that it's so easy to become a PD, and
Mm.
therefore devalues those that are clearly committed to to this industry and want to help, but we still have to make a living. It compromises how likely we are to be successful, which is such a fucking
Don't,
shame.
don't get me wrong, man. I think there's value in giving stuff away for free and free information and helping people, and I do
So do
think there's a
I.
lot of value in it.
Absolutely. So do I. I really like. I mean, and on by the way, my website will be live in a couple of weeks. There's free
Woo!
programs on there for people that
Yeah.
want to try new things, and I want them to have them. Like for instance, the bench only program I have because most guys want to get a bigger bench and stuff. That is for free. I don't want
Mm.
any fucking that. However, if there's a powerlifter that wants to peak for a competition, want to start training with me and using my time, then I'll charge them the rate I have. And it's interesting that we're saying this because there's equally as well. Like there are also people I know that have more than just a level 3 diploma and they're not very good at what they do. But
Hmm.
I will say it's the more and more qualifications that you have, more and more books you've read. It's pretty much straightforward that you're gonna be better at what you do. You're gonna be a better coach and a better PT.
A lot of it is the fucking people skills, though, man, and like having the empathy for people and like being on the floor for fucking countless and countless and countless hours of just interaction with people, and you end up learning different personality traits, and you end up learning how to fucking deal with people, and
Yeah.
like that can't be bought in a degree. You know what I
No,
mean?
it can't be. It really can't. It can't be absolutely. And that's saying that the people who are no level 3 PTs only, some of them fantastic at what they do because they have those people skills and they have the
Mm.
ability to recognise in someone, when they're having a bad day. And I mean, one of my clients at the moment, um, like her, she's having a very tough time with family issues and stuff, and
Mm.
I know that she's not 100% committed to the diet and stuff as best, because I'm on other things, and that's absolutely fine because. That's at that point. I then see how good I am as actually the coach, because then I have to go out of my way to sort of see if she's okay and try and do little ways of making her situation not seem as big, so that she's
Mm.
still on the
So,
pathway to getting a goal that's clearly now just been a little bit delayed through
so you're now no longer a fat loss coach for that session. Now it's more of a therapy session. Now it's
yeah.
okay, you're going to come in, you're going to get some movement, we're going to go towards your goal, granted. However, the goal of this session is to bleed out whatever's going on between your ears, and like use it in a physical way, and then you leave this place in a better place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of um, a lot of people that can't recognise that in their client, aren't worth the money then,
No.
because they're clearly only invested in getting through that session and then earning that 30 quid, 40 quid for the hour, whatever the fuck it might be. That that is a problem, and that, like, then you're seeing people not as people but as just a bit of just as someone that you can get money out, not
Hmm.
as like a person with emotions and feelings and all that shit going on. I mean, my like my coach definitely earned his money on one of my last competitions, because for my deadlift, I was a right fucking moody bastard, and I was just unhappy with I just said, I was like, I fucking don't feel right here, mate. This is fucking shit. Like,
Mm.
I feel weird, and I feel like I'm gonna bomb this. And he literally just put me in the corner of a room and said, right, breathe, don't start deadlifting yet till now, and this is what you're gonna do. Okay, I end up equally my way, because he just knew how to fucking reset me and get me back to what we're doing. And so many PTs I've seen all end up having a bad day. Or no, good ones is, for instance, is a client hasn't turned up. They don't contact them to say why didn't you turn up? Is everything okay? They contact them to say, if you want to reschedule, you need to let me know by this date, or else you've lost your session.
Mm.
Fuck me, that's demoralising. Because that person could have, I don't know, their dog could have died that day, and they just now read this shit, right? Like
Mm.
that. So you're right. Having the people skills is massively important, and I suppose that everyone does. Um, yeah. Fuck.
It's difficult, man. I think another thing that's just sparked another sort of mental idea, whatever you want to call it, is like people also need to respect the personal time of a coach, because many times, like, we work in a gym, right? And we need to train as well. One, because it's our therapy. Two, because it's what we love to do and we've always done it. And three, if we were a fat cunt, would you really like appreciate us and hire as a coach? The answer is fuck no. Like,
What do
so
you
I'm
mean?
like, okay, like this is my time to train, sort of thing. And if I give you a time parameter and you are late and you go over that time, or you don't turn up, or for whatever, and then you come into the gym and I'm training, but you expect me to be free for you, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I gave you 2 till 3. I waited till 2:30. You're not here. Nah, I'm training. I'm getting my session
Yeah.
done early, and then I'm going home and I'm cracking on with all the other stuff I need to do. Like, it goes back to, like, especially when you start out as a coach, you basically live hand to fucking mouth for years. And like, I can't remember the last time I didn't work 2 jobs to do the shit that I want to do. And it's just like that's not okay. If you wanted to be an accountant, but then you had to go clean floors at night time to be an accountant during the day, people would be like, that's fucked up, that's wrong. You need to go talk to the boss. But because we're in the private sector, because we're a coach and people look at us like, oh, you're into fitness or whatever, like, it's okay to get treated like shit.
So I mean I've had a mixture of treat like talk to me as a like when I'm not as a coach. For instance, guy who when I train during the day, he in office next door, and he's very respectful of the fact I'm training, and he leads me to it. Okay, but equally as well, like he will say he'll be like, oh, like he'll chat to me if he sees that I'm free and just book reply, but he won't say to me anything about his training unless like he really needs to, which yeah, he hasn't done in fairness. But at the same time, like when me and him are training, it's all about training, and we talk about mutual interests and stuff. For like saying he's jiu-jitsu, so we talk about MMA and UFC because massive UFC fan.
Mm,
But like as well, like I've had people that have been very disrespectful about me when I'm coaching other people. So
mm,
I've been in. I remember when I was at or I was giving someone a trial session, okay, to show them what I could offer them. That's something. Trial sessions, I think, are more like I don't mind doing them, but at the same time, like when it doesn't turn into a client, I'm like, oh, it's a bit. But at the same time, like they should still be. I think I don't mind offering them. But anyway, I was giving someone a trial session, and I was working with him for a front squat, um, and they were quite a technical movement squat if you've never done it. And I had one of my current clients just come up to me and start talking to me about the training, and I didn't. I was just there like, okay, you can see me with someone else mid lift,
mm,
okay, like fucking have a little just realize maybe. I mean, if they were genuinely concerned, then like that's fine. But they just came up to me as I was talking to this person, helping them out with the cues and the commands and stuff. They were like, Kieran, need your help with this. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, can you wait? So I just said, I was like, uh, I'm really sorry, but I'm just with this person at the moment. We'll be finished up in about half an hour. Can I meet you for a chat downstairs? Because I'll be free then. They were like, oh, have you gone by then? I went, well, okay, but I'm busy now. I'm really sorry, but I'm busy now. He's like, well, but I'll be gone. I'm thinking about. I'm like, well, gone then. What? It can't be that fucking urgent, right? Dick, right? But I didn't say that, right? I was just there like, oh, I'm really sorry. I just kept repeating it. I'm really sorry. I'm with this person. I'll be free in half an hour. I was like, are you sure you can't wait till then? They were like, fine. I suppose I'll have to. I'm like, yeah, you fuck, right? So I was like, so I was like, so I then said to this person, I'm really sorry about that because they're there feeling, thinking, oh, I'm not not committed to them, and
mm.
and that's obviously not the case.
Mm.
So yeah, and another one, right, is fucking. I remember hearing a guy. So nutrition in the industry is funny because again it comes back to if you hear something sound dead fucking complicated, it's fucking bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Like the amount of people I've heard who were saying like you need to drink green tea in order to lose weight. All right, there's
I
calorie
thought
deficit at all.
that's the thing. Green tea and 3 sugars.
Oh, mate. Green tea, 3 sugars, and a diet coke, right? You'll be fine. You'll be a size 6 by next week, mate. Right? Don't worry about it. Fucking like I understand. I understand that not everyone knows about diet. Not everyone knows about nutrition. That's absolutely fine.
Mm.
Equally, not everyone knows about how to fucking repair a car. Not everyone knows about how to fucking do heart surgery. Not everyone knows like how to fucking drive a bus. Okay, that's fine. That's why we're here to help them. So when you tell someone the wrong fucking thing or something ridiculously overcomplicated, that is the equivalent of repairing someone's car wrong so that it's dangerous. Being driving a bus
I've
into
had that
into a
before.
lake, right? Or fucking what was the other one that I gave? Oh, heart surgery, blowing someone's heart up. Go with that. That's funny, right? You need like the amount of like I remember getting back to someone I mentioned earlier, something shred talking about this food has this thermic effect on fat and it will melt it. And I'm like, fucking what? Right? That is not like fat is not melted off. Like we
Mm.
say melting fat. That's not how it works, okay?
Mm-hmm.
At all. Right?
It's
And it's all about
metabolized.
thermic effects of food and I'm like, what the fuck are you going on about?
Which
You needlessly overcomplicate.
technically is a thing, right?
It's okay,
I, I,
technically
I,
it's a thing,
I want to
but
say
it's
this.
not the
Technic-
most important thing.
Technically, it's a thing, right? But it's like, oh, I can't think of an analogy. But you're talking about not even 0.1%. It's like, oh, if you eat a chicken breast instead of a slice of bread, you probably have burnt 2 more calories digesting that than the bread. Okay, 2 calories.
Not nothing. Which in that instance, right? You're looking at the most important thing, which is why I was saying, why would you start talking about thermic effects, which you're right are a thing, when that it's nowhere near as relevant as calorie deficit. Okay, it's
Yeah,
like
it's like looking at the top of the pyramid before getting the base.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you just wouldn't
Yeah,
do it.
and you need like people need to be overcomplicated. Sorry.
I just said you wouldn't do it. Like you wouldn't build a pyramid upside down, like point down and big base at the top,
No, of course not.
because it's inevitably gonna fucking fall over.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's why lads you should squat rather than just do curls and bench and shoulders. You should always
True.
squat still. Okay. Have a bigger lower body than your upper body, and you won't fall over.
Trust me, you can't fuck a chick with your arms.
I
Deadlifts,
disagree. To leave that fucking nest open.
deadlifts, and squat. Get some hip extension going. You're good.
What would you So like, what would you say is something all trainers need to learn to be a good coach? Is there something specifically that you think everyone should know this?
People skills.
Yeah, I'd say people skills too. I mean, more in terms of training.
Oh, what specifically know how to coach?
Yes,
I'd say the compound lifts.
I would completely agree.
And I'd also go back to an earlier point that you said, man, was saying have the confidence to delegate to other coaches.
Yeah. So
For example, go on.
so I was saying that I have this belief that in an ideal world that there'd be less coaches in this industry. Okay, there'd be would weed out the shit ones. And by the way, I'm not saying that I'm the best coach going. I'm nowhere fucking near.
Mm.
In my opinion, the way I rate myself is I'd say I'm slightly above the prerequisites required
Mm.
to be a coach. But there are so many that are way below the prerequisites. The prerequisites have been that I think are way higher than what the industry has sort of accepted. Okay.
It's just what gets me, man. What gets me is when I see people that have just come out of that fucking diploma and they're coaching beginners how to Olympic weightlift.
Yeah. So are you talking more about the CrossFit level 1 in that point?
Nah, I'm talking about the diploma. And they're just like, all right, yeah, now I'm going to teach you how to snatch and clean jerk. And I'm like,
Don't cover it. Most,
huh?
honestly, the ones I've come across for that level 3 diploma don't cover snatch and Olympics. Sorry,
Exactly. So, so why are they
yeah,
coaching it?
exactly. So
Even with that even goes back to the level 1 though. In fact, I'm going to go, you've opened that can. I'm going to fuck it in the ass. Right, you can get a fucking CrossFit level 1 and coach and be a CrossFit level 1 trainer and coach in a box and coach Olympic weightlifting. Okay? In the level 1, you don't do Olympic weightlifting. So you're basically getting a complete beginner. Nah, you're getting a complete beginner to coach you something they've never actually been qualified to coach. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a fucking great certificate. I think it's really good. I think the way they actually do it, Carl Steadman is an absolute genius. He's the European leader. He's done it for the past like 11, 12 years. That dude is insane. That guy can coach fucking anyone. And I had him for my level 2, and it was an absolute honor to be in his presence again. And that dude is genuinely, I wouldn't fucking change it for the world. However, I don't necessarily agree with the format. But I do believe that's only because CrossFit has blown up so quickly, and these gyms have just sprouted up everywhere. It's just been like, holy shit! Like, how do we sort of cope with this? But I have seen fucking gyms being opened by a level 1 trainer, and that's like a PT getting their fucking gym instructor qualification, so they're level 2, not even a PT qualification, and opening up their own gym.
yeah,
It makes no sense.
running things. So I was going to say before, that in an ideal world, the majority of the bad PT would be out, and then
Mm.
back to what you said about delegation. Be less PTs in the industry, but we would delegate to those that we knew would. So everyone would have like their own little communities. For instance, let's say there was you, me, and my friend Tony, who's a bodybuilder. Okay, some lad comes up to me saying that he wants to learn how to be a weightlifter. I send him to you. Some lad comes up to Tony and says to him, "Oh, teach me how to powerlift." And by Tony's own admission, Tony is no powerlifter. Okay, like he doesn't know how to do powerlifting stuff, and he finds that trying training boring. He send him to me. Um, and then in the night, then someone will come up to you and say, make me into a bodybuilder, and you say, all right, here's the number of the person you need to call. Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously, because I wouldn't send someone who wanted to be an Olympic weightlifter to Hayden Bow, Steffi Cohen's
Mm.
lad. I wouldn't send him because he lives in England and that's in fucking Miami, and I wouldn't send someone to fucking the gym Strong Geelong to be a strongman competitor. I'd send them to one up the road in Shop. I forget the name of it, but it's what's the name now? Rhiannon. What she was pretty world's strongest woman. Um, to do strongman. Send them to local trainers who know what they're doing.
Mm.
But then what would happen then is again, but everyone would maximise the utility because they'd be getting the most efficient share of clients,
Mm.
the most efficient spread of, if you will. They will all be earning maximally, and at the same time, clients will be getting the best possible advice and coaching because
Mm.
they wouldn't have because they'd be sending to someone that's a specialist at that particular field. Be sent to someone that's a charlatan.
Yeah, man. I agree, man. But it's just keeping your circle. Like I'm sure you've got a circle. I mean, we're in the same circle, of course. Like we're fucking brothers for Christ's sake, and we both have different expertise, so that just goes hand in hand. But I mean, I'm sure we have different people. Like if I regularly on the regular have like therapy fucking questions, and I will go back to the chiro that have not only treated me, but also sort of inspired me to look more into that. I've got rehab sort of questions, physio questions, and I'll go back to the physio I used to coach with like fucking years ago. I'm talking maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, like we all have our little circle and we sort of like ask questions and learn off each other. And I think that's the beautiful side. However, like a lot of coaches, when they come into the industry, it's like, oh, now you're trying to take my clients, you're trying to take the food off my table, sort of thing. And I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not the case. If we all help each other out, trust me, in the long run, money will be flowing. Right now, it might be hard, but in the long run, it'll be flowing.
It's very myopic to say to just, and as well, it's a sign that if you're worried about getting, you're worried about losing clients, then you've got a reason to worry about losing clients. You mustn't be very good at what you do. Okay,
Mm,
so like from my perspective, like I'm not worried about losing the people I have because I'm sure that I know the stuff I'm giving them. Like I know in my heart that what I'm doing is the right thing to do.
mm,
Okay, if I didn't think I could help them, I probably wouldn't have taken them on. You know, like if I didn't think I could, make, there's one fella that I know that wants to get leaner at the top and he wants to get stronger in his own body. He's a very odd dynamic. He just wants, not that he wants his legs bigger, he wants them stronger. All right, okay, cool. So he feels weak doing, like doing squats and walking upstairs and shit. But he wants to look better up top for when he's out. All right, cool. We can make a program to that, and I know what to do for that. Equally, though, like if someone says to me, I want to win a triathlon," I'll be like, "You are asking the wrong fucking person."
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
one, cardio is bollocks, right? I'm a fucking powerlifter. I don't do anything over 5 reps, right? Unless it's for the gram, right? Fucking like that fucking video of God deadlifting like fucking for 10 reps, and I'm like, yo, look what Kieran did. But equally, fuck that shit. I ain't doing 6 sets of that bullshit, right? And
Sets
getting
of
fucking
the only cardio I do is set to 20 on back squats.
sets of
No, I'm
20 on
joking. I've started. Well,
fucking.
last
It's
week I did a bit of conditioning.
I love the yeah. You do.
Just a wee bit of CrossFit again. Like I've not done CrossFit in a while, and I don't know. I miss doing a wee bit of gymnastics. My heart rate being a little high. Just having a bit of fun. Not like no time. Maybe I'll jump into a comp this year. I don't fucking know, dude. But just a
I
little.
remember though, to be fair, I did do a competition in December, and it was me and my friend Dave. Both was powerlifters. Dave was a fucking strong dude, and we were against people that were predominantly like just more not CrossFitters, but more on did more the CrossFit style training, and
Mm,
it was a combination of the competition was a combination of powerlifting, strongman, and CrossFit,
mm,
and the fucking listen we at one point had to do it was burpees followed by box squats followed by like I think it was jump squats and then battle ropes and then sprints up and down. And I was fucking shagged, right?
mm,
I was absolutely ruined, right? And I was there like, what the fuck? But before that, I'd done bench press max reps at a certain weight. I didn't even fucking feel a thing. I was there like, all right, let's go again. I'll do the fucking same number of reps without even, do you know what I mean? Like I was fucking fine. But the running up and down shit, like I was absolutely knackered. That's the thing as well. Like I think that I think I think I think that trainers should you say earlier on about like they should look a certain way. I do think they should be good. They should be proficient at what they're coaching
mm,
in themselves. So certainly what their specialty is. So for instance, if like bodybuilding coaches should people that have bodybuilt themselves in many ways, and tested what does and doesn't work for them,
mm,
and then come up with and had a bit of experience doing that to then offer advice. So for instance, like if a powerlifting coach who had never powerlifted was writing a program and wasn't taking into consideration the wear and tear that lifting those fucking weights has
mm,
over a period of time, and therefore doesn't do things like apply things like deloads and regressions, variation of movements, like to sort of diversify the training and make sure that they're not neurologically as damaged as a lot of people have seen have been, or
mm,
a lot of training can sort of like invoke. That person shouldn't be writing it because he's
mm,
not experienced it. Like
mm,
I regularly program in deloads for people that I've written powerlifting programs because deloads help because deloads have helped me massively. I know and I understand the science behind deloading.
Mm.
And most good coaches in strength sports will program in deload sessions. You know, like I know Rob Carney, the strongman athlete, the first openly gay strongman.
Mm.
He was saying that his coach was waiting for. Basically, Rob said to his coach after about 10, 11 weeks, "Yo, I'm fucked. I need a break. I need a rest. If I do another deadlift, my back's gonna snap." And he went, "Okay, good. We're at the point now. I was waiting for you to tell me that this fucked. I'm gonna do a deload for a week. Sorry, okay, and we're literally gonna and this and this. It's gonna be fine." 10, 14 days later, Rob was back in the gym feeling better than ever. Okay, and
Mm.
I'm and at the I think he's at the Arnold this year. I strongly believe he'll be the first person to lift 3 pounds to deadlift 1,000 pounds. Which is
Mm.
fucking real.
Mm.
Okay, whatever the fuck that comes will be is ridiculously high. But yeah, like you need to be proficient in what your specialty is certainly, and I do think you need to look like I do think it helps. I don't necessarily think so because let's say for instance, a guy comes back from chemotherapy and he's skinny as fuck.
Mm.
That's not fair to say. Well, you don't look like a bodybuilder, okay? Or someone that's got mental health issues and has had a binge for 6 months that is ballooned and he's teaching someone how to lose fat. You can't just. But I'm saying that most of the time, you need to be at least healthy in yourself
Mm.
and look sort of comfortable with training
Mm.
before you can start coaching people on that training stuff. Okay. Another funny story from when I was at Pure. Listen to this. Okay, listeners, fucking get your head around this. I was talking about my friend who is a bodybuilder, and this how little I understand about bodybuilding at the highest level. He doesn't do isolation exercises. Isolation days. Say he doesn't have a shoulders day and an arms day, for instance. He gets all his arm movements done, all his arm engagement done through compound lift. So the biceps he does, pull-ups, rows, things like that, right? For to target his triceps, he does bench, incline bench, military press, things like that, right? But that works for him. He's come third at a British bodybuilding comp for that shit. He clearly knows what he's doing, right? And he's got no reason to lie to me. Anyway, we were in. I was in the office one day at PR and we were fucking talking about uh, different types of training, bodybuilding and stuff. And it says, "Oh, I've got a friend who's a good bodybuilder and he doesn't do isolation exercises." He went, "He must do." And I went, "Well, he doesn't." And then one lad went, "Nah, to get biceps like what you're saying, you need to do like biceps like 3, 4 times a week." I was like, "Well, no, you don't." But okay,
Mm.
cool, right? And then I heard this from my assistant manager. Okay, now an assistant manager of a fitness business or like a fitness company, you'd expect them to sort of know shit about fitness, right? That's like having a fucking like guy at like fucking deputy fire officer being like, "Ah, what's water got to do with putting out a fire?" Right? So she fucking goes, or like having a fucking prime minister that isn't a fucking bumbling cunt, right? Or I don't know, having a fucking president that fucking knows how to do president stuff, right? Just shit like that. Anyway, she goes, "Well, you should only train biceps once a week." Okay, I'll bite. Why? Right? She goes, "Well, because they're a small muscle." All right, cool. So then played a little bit dumb, but also clever dumb. So I was like, "Oh, okay, but does it not maybe depend on person themselves, like whether they're male or female, how much water they intake during the day, how heavy they train biceps day one or day two or day three, whether or not they're on steroids, how much they're eating, how old they are, like what kind of sport they do, if they've got a history of bicep tendinopathy or things like that." She was like, "No, it's a small muscle. You should only train it once a week." I went, "Right." And I walked out the room because I was like, "Fuck that shit. She's a monk, right?"
Wow. I mean, like we said, there's some.
Have you heard anything as stupid as that?
Oh mate, the amount of retarded things I've heard in a fucking gym setting, it is absolutely ridiculous. like, oh yeah, looks good when the knees are like pretty much kissing each other in a squat. They're hunched over, and it's like, yeah, add weight, go for it. And I'm like, cunt, if you put more weight on that bar, I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna smack you with it. Like, I'm not coaching you. I've been known for fucking. I've said, okay, this is the way I want you to do things. Because if we do it the other way, then you're more prone for injury, etc., etc. And this is the reason why. And completely, you know, explained it, and then people kind of disregard that. And I'm like, okay, guys, you say it again, you just say it in a different manner because maybe it didn't come across the first time, and you just stay nice and relaxed. Maybe they didn't listen to you or whatever. And I'm like, no problem. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, man. It's just my camera's gone off for some reason.
Wicked, no worries. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, no worries. And then they carry on doing it, and I'm like, guys, like, look, if you disregard what I'm saying, then and you come back to me and say you're injured, I will fix you, but I will charge you double the price. So you will come back to me, and it will be £100 an hour.
I think was it Dave Tate when he went to Westside Barbell, and like for the first 2 years he didn't listen to anything Louis said, and
Mm.
he didn't progress. And Louis said to him, "Look, like if you don't fucking do what I'm saying, I'm gonna kick you out the fucking gym." Dave
Mm.
went, "Right, well I'll do what you say to do, and then if I fail, then it's your fault." He went, "All right." And Dave added £200 to his total after doing 6 months with coaching. He's like, "Oh fuck, okay, fair." It's like if you're gonna have a coach as well, listen to the things they're saying. But like
Mm.
back from what Dave, because one, you're paying for it, and two, like it's kind of insulting when you don't, because it's
Yeah.
like because we pride ourselves on like on giving you things that's going to enrich your life. And if you then don't do that, like one, like you're the one who's going to fucking suffer, and two, like it's why aren't you doing it? Why don't you believe us?
Mm.
I understand people go falling off the diet, so that's fine. Okay, like in terms of not disrespectful, right? Like if you fall off your diet, that's fine. Okay, like we can do things to get you a better relationship with food. We can. Well, I always say like nutrition is simple, dieting is hard. Like nutrition is very, very plain, straightforward,
Mm.
and
Mm.
simple.
That's a good
Diet
saying. I like that.
because you're putting you writing this down because
No, no, no.
you're dieting is hard because you're putting the active nutrition into practice, and that means that you might be having food that you don't like, or you might be not having food that you do like. Okay, equally as well, you might not be able to consume 4,000 calories a day if that's what your program dictates you need to do, or you might find 1,400 calories a day difficult to consume, to only consume because you might be used to double that, right?
Mm.
Fuck knows. I mean, obviously, these are all arbitrary things. Don't start fucking picking things apart and start writing me fucking emails. Be like, you're wrong about this because you shouldn't go from 2,800 calories to 1,400 because that's really bad for the fuck off, right? That's not what I'm saying, right? You fucking, your mum don't love you, right? It's like, if you're listening to this and you're being a bitch about what I'm saying, your mum doesn't love you, right? I promise you. She loves the postman. She doesn't love you,
That
right?
would explain a lot.
That will explain a lot, actually. It's like, hey, remember that time you saw your mum making a sandwich with Daddy and the postman, right? Like, um, fucking yeah. Like, if you don't listen to what your PT's saying, and then you wonder why you've not got the results you want, your fault, not theirs.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, and fucking hell. So another funny thing I've heard is it's like oh don't worry about not squatting to depth because like fucking squatting's like bad for your knees anyway if you go too far down. All right, cool, sound. What's the science behind that? Well, it just is. Like, all right, cool, but again, like, why is it just that? Is it maybe not like okay, some of the best some of the like best like oh, for lack of a better word, because I'm way sense, but knee strength in the world. You know, some of the most durable knees in the world are those that have powerlifted and done Olympic weightlifting for X amount of years because they've consistently squatted to depth and they've done things like TKE and like reverse lunges to supplement that, and they've done deloads and ice baths and all the other things to protect the knees.
The
Like
thing is, though, man, like the highest amount of strain on your ACL during a squat is the top 20 degrees.
yeah, as well. Yeah, it is. Yeah, which is crazy to think. And a
So
lot of the
it's
time, these blow out on as you ascend into that top 20%,
mm,
which is fucking is crazy. I mean, some of them I've seen some of the most gnarly fucking knee injuries going like, like through like powerlifters sort of showing me the videos then doing it, and it just they just slip to sort of like sometimes they can slip, like they can just sorry shift the body position, or like the foot might have just moved back a little bit too much. Some is they were wearing the wrong shoes, or they were wearing socks that day, okay, which is fucking dumb sometimes. But that's made me laugh. You remember at the CrossFit Games last year, they were obviously it takes place outside a lot of events, don't they? And
mm,
they were doing platform squats, sorry, back squats on a platform
mm,
and it started to rain,
mm,
and they didn't call it off. They just let him
mm,
keep going. One guy fucked his knee doing that.
mm.
He slipped. His knee went. Like,
Yeah, I know.
oh shit, right? What the fuck? You got 220 kilos on your back, right? And you're back squatting that shit, and it's fucking soaking. You've got a puddle beneath your fucking toes. Of
Yeah,
course
that
you're
weren't
gonna fucking slip.
it weren't clever.
No, it really wasn't. That's something that CrossFit's got to answer for, though. Man. Like that isn't a good thing. Like that's. I mean, I think with Giants Live and with the World's Strongest Man, like they have a small number there, and they have former strongmen test like assess the equipment first, say,
Mm.
look, that's unsafe, not because of the weight, but because of the way it's manufactured. Okay, like you need to change the way this is this you need to change the way this is constructed, or maybe have this in place. They advise them properly, but that fucking thing there with the CrossFit Games, man, that was fucking dumb, right? That was
That
really
was silly.
dumb. Like fucking like getting people to do fucking like triathlons and the fucking swimming in the Arctic. Like, what are you doing? That's fucking not going to end well.
Yeah, but they're just crazy, aren't they? The triathletes, like,
Oh, and Ironmans and shit, man. Fuck me. That's
oh
again
man.
too much fucking cardio. I mean, I fucking don't mind. I don't like walking to the ops. Fuck that shit. Get to fucking. Oh, you like walking to the car? Get me fucking milk delivered.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, milk deliveries are a thing. I've just realised how fucking stupid that sounds. Right? Like
Anyway,
what
man, I'm gonna have to scatter.
are you scattering?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Um, get some
What
shit
training?
done. Go to the
What training?
train. Huh?
What are you training today?
I'm gonna start your program today, your bench program. I'm gonna
Oh,
supplement that. I need to squat. I didn't squat earlier.
to those
Um,
that are listening to this, and today Alex has got bench to work into a top set of eight top set of eight RPE 9. Then he's got slingshot bench for 4 sets of 3, going relatively heavy. Then he's got 2 tricep movements, one being tricep extensions. Then he's got tricep dips. Then he's got 3 sets of 7 RPE 8 at just flat dumbbell press, which is a sexy fucking session.
oh yeah, and I need a front squat before it, where I have 2 1s at 125.
Oh, that sounds
Uh,
lovely.
which is nothing. Like it's only 2 sets, But and then maybe I'll do a little bit of. I want to do a little bit more accessory stuff. Make sure my body stays healthy in my back and my shoulder and my core and that. But
I'm gonna squat on a Smith machine, just the top 20%, right, to blow money out. I might even like put some water underneath my feet before I do it. Um, and then I'm gonna train biceps this week because I only trained them last week because you only train them once a week.
there you
Uh,
go.
yeah. And I think I'm just gonna do a massive wank in the middle of the gym.
And remember to wear your headband.
I just think I'm gonna do that, and as well, like it's gotta be super aggressive. I want to use both hands. I'm gonna be shouting my own name, right? I'm gonna be shouting fitness as well, right? Oh, people are gonna fucking love it, right?
Oh dear.
So if you listen to the podcast right now, just imagine like a really fit guy with 14% body fat, 5'9", just wanking in the middle of a gym.
I don't think they've made it this far, man. It's an hour and 40 minutes in. They've not made it.
If you made it to the end of this shit, fucking fair play.
You're a
Been chatting
legend.
for good 40 minutes of this.
Um, we're gonna get you back on because you're preparing for
Yeah,
British.
I've got British and Euros later this year in the summertime. So we'll check in with you. I'll check in with you in a few months before, like probably about 4 or 5 weeks out. See how prep's
Mm.
going.
Mm.
So yeah, like that'll be an entirely different session. But
That'd be
yeah,
more powerlifting focused.
yeah, power focus somewhat shorter. So fans of powerlifting, be sure to look out for that one.
Mm.
I think well needs to do another one on we'll find a topic. We'll find a good fun topic to do. One that's less bitchy about shit traders in the industry.
Kama Sutra.
I just think, a good one to be fucking like taking your fucking girl to the gym and like how the etiquette surrounding that.
Right. If you take your bird to the gym
Yeah,
and she just follows you around, and one, you're not training her, two, you're not training with her, and three, you don't actually give her the time and attention and watch her and give a shit, and you're just looking at other birds in Gymshark leggings, then you're a fucking cunt.
yeah, I completely agree.
Like,
Also,
that's like bonding time, man.
yeah, I think it's like if your girl's good, if your girl knows what she's doing in the gym, then you probably don't even need to do that. Like, but if your girl doesn't know what she's doing in the gym, by the way, this is me saying that girls don't know what they're doing in the gym. Like, please stop fucking writing your hashtag. Like, if she doesn't know what she's doing in the gym, then that's absolutely fine. But you're right, you should probably only if you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like
of
if you know
course.
like. But if you're a fucking typical gym bro and you fucking load 60 kilos on the bar and you're like 5'2", a delicate bitch, doesn't know how to fucking like clearly can't lift that. I think delicate bitch was a great term, by the way. I think that's a superb term.
Well, I have seen a lady have to spot her other half with a 50 kilo bench press before. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not discriminating against anyone. However, he came in, he didn't warm up, and he put 50 kilos on the bar. That's what I'm taking a piss out of.
I remember seeing these lads in the gym. It must have been 16, 17. At the very end of their session, not warm up, 75 kilos on the bar, and they got under it. And the guy was like, "Yeah, I've got this, Chad." And Chad's there, fucking like, "Do you need a handout?" And he's like, "Nah, I've got this." Right, fucking back comes out. Fucking, he's not set, he's not tight or anything. Fucking brings it down about 5 inches, all wobbly. Then he just fucking drops like that. I'm like, "Fuck me, Chad's dead." Right, like Chad's fucking dead. Right, I swear to you, Chad's fucking dead. Right,
Uh,
and then fucking Oliver fucking lifts it off his chest as best he can and falls fucking forward. Now his head's on fucking Chad's fucking belly button. Right, and I'm just there like, yeah, it's probably gonna help these guys. Right, they're gonna die otherwise. Which death in the gym, fucking that's just normal thing.
True. Survival of the
Right,
fittest. Right,
right,
man. I appreciate
right,
it.
how the session goes.
Thank you, Mucker.
No worries.
I will hold on. Let me